Want to learn many fun facts in just 1 hour? Subscribe and let's start. Imagine a Tesla with giant wheels, taller than a door. There are extreme experiments where they put enormous tires on the car to show how such a change destroys its stability, handling, and even the way it turns. It's like turning an electric sedan into a clumsy monster fighting every curve. In Italy, there's a medieval town nicknamed the Dying City. Civittà di Bagnoregio sits on tough cliffs that are eroding away. To enter, you cross a narrow pedestrian bridge, and when you arrive, you're greeted by a beautiful and fragile place, as if it's living on borrowed time. In San Sebastian, Spain, there's the Pena del Viento, steel sculptures embedded in rocks by the sea, created by Eduardo Chillida. The twist is that the wind and waves are not just a backdrop. They're part of the art. There are holes in the rocks where air and water pass through, creating a natural concert of hissing and roaring sounds. In Knaresborough, England, there's a competition that looks like a joke, the bed race. Teams push a decorated bed through several kilometers of obstacles, including a river crossing. And the cruelest part, no wheels. The bed is carried or dragged, like a medieval mission. The $2 bill in the United States is real, it's legal, but it's so rare in circulation that when it shows up, people think it's fake. That's why many keep it as a lucky charm, and even gifting it is seen as passing on luck. It's a bill with the aura of something rare. Acai is a small dark berry from the Amazon, famous for its reputation as an antioxidant bomb. It became a global star through bowls, juices, and the idea of natural energy. In the jungle, it was a daily food. The Peel P50 is the tiniest car ever made famous. 3 wheels, 1 door, 1 headlight, 1 wiper, and a face that screams, "I'm a toy, but I drive." It was made in the 1960s and seems designed to park inside an elevator. In Yukon, Canada, there's a desert that's actually a geographical rarity, the Car-Cross Desert. It's very small, with dunes, and was formed by glacial sediments. So it's like a mini sea of sand left there, a cute mistake on the map. Capsule hotels in Japan prove the country optimizes everything. You sleep in a compact capsule with lights, air, and plugs. It's cheaper than regular hotels, but there's an unwritten rule: total silence. Because yes, you can hear everything. It's like sleeping in a human beehive. A kinball is a super weird and cool sport. 3 teams playing at the same time with a giant ball, more than 1 meter in diameter. Before launching it, you yell out the color of the target team, and that team has to catch it before it hits the ground. It's chaotic strategy, but with cooperation. Asha Mandela has dreads so long, they seem like a living story. We're talking over 19 meters of hair, growing for decades. It's not just a record, it's identity, patience, and pride turned into a mane. The Selkirk Rex looks like a cat that fell into a curling iron. Its curly fur is a genetic mutation, and it looks like a fluffy cloud. It's literally a cat with a sheep look, but with feline attitude. There are fruit records that are funny. For example, a giant strawberry that weighed almost 290 grams, grown by a farmer. It's like a strawberry decided to turn into an apple, but didn't give notice. In Japan, some breweries put Braille on the cans so that visually impaired people can identify that it's alcohol. It's a simple detail, but it changes everything. Real accessibility in something every day. The WEPT Sonic Expander is an electric motorcycle designed to go fast, with speeds promoted as ridiculously high for an electric vehicle. It's the idea of, okay, I want a future engine, today, but with the adrenaline of today. Bill Gates bought a manuscript by Leonardo da Vinci called the Codex Leicester. He paid tens of millions at an auction in 1994. It's literally buying a piece of Da Vinci's mind on paper. Will Wright, the creator of The Sims, got the idea for the game after a fire destroyed his house. Rebuilding from scratch made him obsessed with design, objects, spaces, and life inside the home. And from that tragedy came a life simulator. New York may seem full of alleyways in the movies, but in reality, it has very few real alleys. And one of the most used for filming is Cortlandt Alley, because it's one of the few with permits for productions. That's why you see it in countless shows without even realizing it. Genghis Khan is one of those names that carry historical terror. And there are massive estimates about the impact of his campaigns, even figures that repeat like percentage of the world. But the most cinematic part is his final order, for no one to know where his tomb was. And to this day, the exact location remains a mystery. In front of the Wall Street Bull, there was a sculpture of the Fearless Girl by Kristen Weisball, standing with hands on her hips as if saying, "You don't scare me." It became a symbol of strength and debate over power, money, and gender. A small statue with huge energy. Hallstatt, Austria, is a postcard village, nestled by a lake, with ancient houses and a long history tied to salt. It's so picturesque, it feels like a movie set. And when you get there, you understand why it gets copied everywhere. Cliff Young was a 61-year-old farmer who, in 1983, won a brutal ultramarathon between Sydney and Melbourne. Not looking like an athlete, he started behind and ended up beating professionals. His training was herding sheep for days. Field endurance turned into historic victory. The pangolin is a mammal covered in scales, looking like a small dragon. And sadly, it's one of the most trafficked animals illegally. They're hunted for their meat and for beliefs about their scales. It eats ants and termites with a super long tongue, incredible and vulnerable. The Pont des Arts in Paris became filled with love locks. It seemed romantic until the weight became a real problem. In 2015, they removed the locks because they were threatening the structure. Love, yes, but without breaking the bridge. In Copenhagen, there's the Kirkelbrunn, a bridge with circular platforms instead of a straight line. Designed by Olafur Eliasson, it's inspired by masts and sails of boats. It's a bridge that feels like walking across little islands connected. Fun fact about owls, if you look closely at an owl's ear, you can actually see part of its eye. Because their eyes are so huge, they don't rotate like ours, and they fill up the skull. That's why they turn their head, not their eyes. Extreme nocturnal design. Shreya Siddhanagowda received a double-arm transplant after losing her arms in an accident. After intense rehabilitation, she regained fine motor skills like painting and playing instruments. Stories like this remind us that the human body and medicine sometimes seem like magic. Mike Tyson has often talked about his love for pigeons. No joke, he competes with them, breeds them, and says they calm him down. The scariest man in boxing, relaxing with pigeons. That contradiction is gold. Domino's Pizza started as a tiny pizzeria in Michigan. Two brothers started it, then one took control and turned it into an empire. It's the classic story. Something small, and suddenly it's everywhere. And here's a paradox. The Jack Daniel's distillery is located in a county with laws that limited or even prohibited sales for a long time. So it's produced there, but buying it there can be complicated depending on local regulations. At a place that makes whiskey, but doesn't easily sell it. Kim Goodman has a very rare record. She can project her eyes outward several millimeters. It's a medical phenomenon and extremely unusual, but she became famous for it through Guinness. One of those facts that makes you grab your face without realizing it. Uber Helicopter was a promotional luxury service to fly from Manhattan to JFK by helicopter at specific times. It wasn't for everyone, it was a premium experience with aerial views and no traffic. Basically, traffic, but from above. Ferrari doesn't just sell cars, they select buyers. There are waiting lists and unofficial rules. There have even been cases where the brand gets upset if someone resells a model too quickly. It's luxury with private club control. In Polignano a Mare, Italy, there's Grotta Palazzesi, in a restaurant inside a cave with a sea view. You eat with the sound of the waves as background music. It's a romantic date, but movie level. The bald eagle has a brutal sense of vision, far superior to human eyesight. It can detect prey from afar while flying high. It's like having biological optical zoom, and that's why it's such a precise hunter. Inside the Dubai Mall is the Dubai Aquarium, a gigantic tank with an underwater tunnel where you walk surrounded by marine life. It's like stepping into a documentary, but in a shopping mall. Watch out for this one. Qatar often has cheap fuel due to subsidies, but the exact price can vary greatly depending on the time and currency. What's real is the logic. Strong subsidies can lower prices for consumers and drive up consumption. Ithea in the Maldives is an underwater restaurant with transparent walls. You dine several meters below the surface, watching fish and coral reefs. Dinner with sharks in the background, but calmly. Brittany Gallivan managed to fold paper more than people thought was possible back in 2002, using long, thin paper and mathematics to figure out how to do it. She debunked the myth of "it can't be done." The raindrop cake is a Japanese dessert that looks like a solidified drop of water. Made from water and agar, it's transparent and delicate. Served with toppings like sweet powder, it feels more like art than food. Sue Austin turned her wheelchair into a sort of underwater vehicle with propellers and dives, flying underwater. It's not just an achievement, it's a whole new way of seeing mobility and freedom. Here's useful technology. Nosy D is an app that uses a dog's nose as a unique fingerprint. The pattern of a dog's snout is different in every dog. You scan it, compare it with a database, and help find lost dogs. Nasal identity, pet version. Bothered by mosquitoes? In some parts of Africa, an extreme idea went viral. Trap them, dry them out, or turn them into mosquito burgers as if they were ground protein. Sounds gross, yes, but that's exactly why it exploded online, turning the enemy into food. The Shih Tzu, the famous lion dog, wasn't bred to be a sofa pet. In Imperial China, it was a palace treasure, small but alert, bred to accompany the elite and warn if something unusual was happening. For centuries, taking it out of China was almost a sin. In Cambodia, an elephant named Chuk regained the ability to walk thanks to a prosthetic made from recycled tires. He lost a leg to a poacher's trap, and that makeshift yet clever piece gave him back his mobility. Trash turned into hope. In Belgium, there's a hotel shaped like a column. Yes, a human column. It's called Cassanus, and the absurdity of the idea turned it into a tourist attraction. You sleep inside it, and then the next day, you wonder what you've done with your life. Mirumi is a furry robot that attaches to your arm like a technological baby koala. It turns its head toward whatever catches its attention and looks at things with curiosity. The charm is that it seems like a little kid exploring the world, and that makes it adorable. In the Netherlands, there's a crazy farming sport, vierljeppen. You run, jump onto an enormous pole, climb while it tilts, and fly across a canal as if you're a video game character. There are even official tournaments for it. You're told the heart is the strongest muscle, but hold up, the jaw muscles are also strong contenders. The masseter, the muscle you use for chewing, can generate some impressive force. Basically, your face has a hidden engine. Can't sleep because of the heat? And there are gadgets like the bed jet, which blows cold or hot air inside your bed to regulate your temperature. It's like having your own mini climate control just for your mattress. A weird luxury, but tempting. In Italy, they also hold cardboard boat races. Teams build their own boats and race to see who can go the farthest without sinking. And to make it even more interesting, the most creative design is awarded. Ingenuity versus water. Let's see who wins. The finger lime from Australia looks like a normal fruit until you cut it open. Inside, it has juicy little balls that resemble caviar. The snowy owl is huge, white, and lives in the Arctic like it's nothing. Unlike other owls, it can hunt during the day, taking advantage of the long summer daylight hours. It even has feathers on its legs as if it came with built-in clothing. In Austria, atop the Dachstein Glacier, there's a hanging bridge with breathtaking views, and at the end, there's a glass platform nicknamed the Stairway to the Void. You look down, and your brain screams no. Big Bo Brown is a ridiculously tall content creator, around 2.13 meters, showing the ridiculousness of daily life when you're a giant. Doors, showers, clothes, ceilings, everything becomes a mission. Preikestolen in Norway is a rock platform that rises more than 600 meters above a fjord. There are no guardrails, no safety mode, just rock, air, and a view that leaves you speechless. The Devil's Pool is a natural pool at the edge of the Victoria Falls. In the dry season, when the water levels drop, a calm pool forms where people can get in, literally on the edge of the abyss. It's not for everyone. Here's a brain bender. Peanuts aren't actually nuts. They're legumes like lentils. They grow underground, inside a pod. It's like nature said, let's make a nut, but hide it. Gary Turner has extraordinary skin elasticity due to a condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. He became famous because he can stretch his skin a lot, even holding a Guinness World Record. It's impressive, but also a reminder that real medical conditions are behind the show. The United States bought Alaska from Russia in 1867 for $7.2 million. At the time, it was called Seward's Folly. Years later, with all the resources found there, it stopped being a joke. Samson, a giant Shire horse, is listed as one of the tallest ever recorded, standing over 2.13 meters. These horses were so strong that they used to carry heavy loads like living tractors. Rani from Bangladesh became famous as one of the world's smallest cows, measuring around 61 centimeters in height. A real mini cow, not a toy, and as reported, she was healthy and calm. In Germany, on the island of Rügen, there's Prora, a monstrous building built by the Nazi regime in the 1930s. It was supposed to be a massive tourist complex, but it never functioned that way due to the war. It stands as a historical cement scar. Pietra Pertosa in Italy looks like a village glued to the mountain. It's called the Eagle's Nest because of its height. Stone houses seem to spring from the rock, as if the village was part of the mountain itself. La Casa Batlló in Barcelona is Gaudí in full force. Curves, mosaics, a facade that seems alive. It's a building you don't just look at, you feel it, as if it were a marine animal turned into architecture. The elephant shrew seems like an impossible cross. Tiny, fast, with a nose like a mini trunk. It's neither an elephant nor a close relative of rodents, but it's an agile insect hunter in African forests. The fennec fox is small but with huge ears. It's not for looks, it's for survival. Those ears help it hear prey and also dissipate heat in the desert. Natural radiators. In Prague, there's a huge kinetic statue of Franz Kafka. It's made of metal plates that rotate and shift to form, deform, and recombine his face. It's art that moves and makes you uncomfortable. Antilia in Mumbai is a private residence so big it looks like a skyscraper. It has countless floors and high ceilings, which makes it feel like an entire building. Luxury in final boss mode. The Aishima Ohashi Bridge in Japan looks like a roller coaster in photos, but it's a perspective trick. In person, the incline is manageable, but certain angles make it seem impossible. In Finland, Kakslautanen became famous for its glass igloos to watch the northern lights without leaving the warmth. You sleep under the sky as if your ceiling were a live screen. The Flatiron Building in New York from 1902 is that triangular building that looks like a stone ship. It was born from a weird corner between Broadway and Fifth Avenue and became an iconic visual symbol of the city. In China, a food went viral that seems like a joke. Grilled ice, charcoal ice cubes with seasonings, and they give it away for free. It doesn't fill you up, but it gives you a story to tell. Cricket is a religion in many countries. India, Pakistan, Australia, England, and millions of fans. It's estimated to have billions of followers worldwide. It might go unnoticed in some places, but on a global scale, it's huge. Lucy the Elephant is a giant elephant-shaped structure in New Jersey from the late 19th century. It's been a hotel, office, attraction, and has survived more than a century as a rare icon. In Belgium, in some cities, they parade giants up to 10 meters tall, made of wood and fabric. They look like medieval characters walking down the street. It's like seeing a story come to life. Right in the middle of the square, Aomori, Japan, gets absurd amounts of snow every year. We're talking meters and meters. The houses are prepared, life adapts, and snow becomes a routine part of daily life instead of just weather. Kowloon Walled City, before it was demolished, was one of the most densely populated places on Earth. A maze of hallways, makeshift buildings, little light, and nearly no planning. A city within a city, but in complete chaos. And now a heavy topic. You see a martial artist, and your brain can't fully process it. Total body control, impossible balance, movement so clean that it looks like gravity stops for a second. Hypnotic. Pure discipline, physical and mental. Meet Porter, the first driving dog. In New Zealand, a rescue organization trained dogs to drive a car, and yes, they showcased it as a demonstration. Rescued dogs that went from abandonment to geniuses on wheels. A baby kangaroo's life starts like an impossible mission. Born the size of a bean, blind, yet it climbs up to its mother's pouch as if it had instinctive GPS. It stays there for months growing. Survival in miracle mode. Gobies from the Gobidae family are small, fast, and essential. They live in reefs and sandy bottoms, camouflage with colors, and are a key part of the ecosystem. They're tiny, but they hold a lot. The mini life that keeps the ocean running. Some marine mollusks may seem simple, but they are crucial for balance. They live in the sandy bottoms or algae meadows, scraping food with a toothy tongue, and their shell is their bunker. Simple, yet vital. The Tegalalang rice terraces in Bali are a living postcard. It's not just pretty, it's an ancient system that works through cooperation to distribute water between villages. Agriculture with rules, tradition in a beauty that seems painted. Crocite is a mineral that looks like frozen fire. Intense red crystals, rare, fragile, and highly sought after by collectors. It's one of those things that makes you think, how can the Earth make this? The larva of the Hercus, related to deep-sea lobsters, is an abyssal creature. Enormous pressure, cold, darkness, yet it thrives. The deep ocean is the planet's secret world. In a Chicago hospital, staff shortages led to rare solutions. Robot nurses that roam the halls delivering medical supplies. They don't replace humans, but serve as messengers around the clock. Technology as support, not as an apocalyptic movie. Tai Guoqiang's fireworks don't look like fireworks. They look like brushstrokes, explosions with rhythm, shape, and design. It's as if someone is painting the sky with fire. Tradition, but with an artist's mind. The stocked jellyfish is the jellyfish that decided not to float. It lives anchored like a sea flower, attached to rocks or corals. It stays still and hunts with the help of currents. A Japanese island surrounded by reefs and crystal clear waters sounds like a dream, and it is. Coral, colorful fish, vibrant life. The Tibetan fox has the most serious face in the animal kingdom. It looks like it's judging you. It lives in cold plateaus with thick fur, hunts in silence, and endures extreme climates as if it's normal. Square wheels? Shark wheel made wheels with strange shapes that look square or wavy, and the idea is they roll better on certain terrains and avoid obstacles differently from a regular wheel. Geometry applied to real life. Baby crocodiles are already coordinated when they hatch. Before leaving the egg, they make little sounds to synchronize the hatching and call the mother. Literally, teamwork before even seeing the world. There's a motorcycle shaped like a pig, made by a Japanese engineer who added headlights on the snout and details like hooves. It's ridiculous, adorable, and perfect for the internet. Creativity on wheels. The Shar-Pei bear looks like a living plushie. Super fluffy fur, folds, doll-like face, and a calm attitude. The dog that makes you say this can't be real. The Hyperion XP1 is a hydrogen-powered hypercar with a spaceship aesthetic. Futuristic design, wing-like doors, and an eco-friendly promise. It emits water vapor. Speed with a "the future is here" vibe. The courtship of the Aninga seems like choreography. The male makes fine movements, intense stares, and a dance to conquer. Nature doing ballet without knowing it's ballet. In Bahia, Brazil, a community turned cans into sound costumes. In Madre de Deus, they paraded costumes made from thousands of cans that make noise when they move. It's carnival, recycling, and accidental music all in one. Three-player chess is strategy squared. You don't just think about one opponent, you think about two. Quick alliances, inevitable betrayals, and moves where attacking could be suicidal. It's elegant chaos. A video blogger from Hong Kong submerged a smartphone in water to explore the bottom of a river and film creatures leave. Home science, pure curiosity. Technology used as a 21st century lantern. The poodle moth looks like a joke. Furry with big eyes, doll-like appearance, and yet it's real. The internet adopted it as the mascot of "What is that?" In Zalek, Slovenia, there's a beer fountain. You buy a mug with a chip and serve yourself from the public taps. Tourism with flavor and control, so it doesn't turn into chaos. The sand viper is a ninja predator. It buries itself, leaving only its eyes visible, and waits. When something passes nearby, it strikes quickly. Perfect camouflage, ambush mode. And there are fish that live like secret neighbors beneath the sand, making tunnels, poking their heads out, and watching. Big eyes, endless patience. The ocean is full of little guards. The dwarf anteater is a mini ghost of the forest. It lives in trees, is very small, and is hard to spot. It eats ants and termites and moves hidden among the leaves. Traveling by bus through Himachal Pradesh is real adrenaline. Narrow roads, sharp curves, cliffs, and sometimes almost no barriers. It's beautiful, yes, but every curve makes you pray. The opuntia, or prickly pear, is a multi-talented cactus. Beautiful flowers, edible fruits, extreme resistance, and uses in cooking and even cosmetics. A survivor plant with extra life. In Miami, a restaurant uses a robot to assist waiters. It delivers food to tables, helps with service, and even interacts with customers. Stone art sounds simple until you see it. Stacking, carving, painting, balancing. It requires monk-like patience and a surgical touch, turning the ordinary into something that leaves you staring. PM01, a humanoid from a startup in Shenzhen, shows where robotics is headed, moving, interacting, collaborating on basic tasks. The future didn't arrive with lasers, it arrived with controlled steps. Sugar gliders are mini acrobats, nocturnal marsupials with a membrane to glide between trees. They jump, fly, eat nectar and bugs. They look like flying squirrels with the energy of a video game. In Arizona, there are artificial wave pools that generate perfect waves using technology. You can train surfing without the ocean, adjust the power, and repeat the wave over and over. A jump rope record that seems impossible. 228 jumps in 30 seconds, more than 7 per second. It's not a sport, it's a machine gun of coordination. In Borneo, orphaned orangutans learn to open coconuts by watching their caregivers. They observe, copy, try, fail, and keep going. Learning through play with a tropical reward. In a cave in Sulawesi, Indonesia, they found a painting of a pig that's over 45,000 years old. It's ancient figurative art, a window into the minds of our ancestors. Stone Age people saying, "I want to leave something behind too." In Shilin, China, there's a stone forest. Giant rocks shaped like trunks, formed by erosion over millions of years. Walking through it feels like the planet got creative. A crash test in China was really strange. A car was hit by other vehicles in an extreme demonstration, shown as a test of its durability. It's marketing, sure, but still impressive to see metal hold up like nothing. Gravitational rescue suits sound like science fiction, but there are teams using exoskeleton-like technology or assistance to move better on tough terrain. Less risk, more speed, more safety. In Canada, there are simple blocks at crosswalks that serve as a physical reminder. The pedestrian places them visibly, forcing cars to slow down. Simple solution, big impact. Choreographed hand games aren't just for kids. One girl took them to the performance level. Everything's synced, each clap in rhythm, and when you watch closely, it's like watching a microscopic choreography. Pure visual skill. Now real magic, hot ice. It's supercooled sodium acetate, which stays liquid until you touch it or drop a crystal. Suddenly it solidifies in seconds, forming crystals while releasing heat. It looks like lab witchcraft. The giant Indian squirrel is a work of art on legs. Not only is it big, but it also has multicolored fur. It eats huge fruits like jackfruit and leaps between branches like an acrobat. An animal that looks designed by an illustrator. The surgeonfish Acantharus olivaceus is aquatic elegance. A fine silhouette, vibrant colors, up to 30 centimeters, in a calmness that made it famous in aquariums. The Viana cannons in Brazil look like an alien landscape. Strange shapes carved by erosion, unreal curves, textures from another planet. Walking through it feels like stepping into a video game. The Brazilian black tarantula commands attention just by looking at it. Dark, shiny fur, heavy presence, yet it's usually calm and non-aggressive. That's why some people keep it as a pet. Dark beauty, but serene. Watching a sledgehammer in slow motion is seeing physics without a filter. The impact travels through the body. The face vibrates like jelly. Everything moves in waves. It's brutal, fascinating, and a little scary. And now, a future bombshell. China reported large thorium resources in Inner Mongolia. Thorium is mentioned as a possible fuel for advanced reactors, often appearing in debates about future energy. It sounds like this changes everything. Dante Dentoni's Lego carpet isn't just a floor. It's a, how did you do that? Piece by piece, colors, patterns, texture. A floor that forces you to look at it like it's a museum. The disappearing square puzzle is a perfect mathematical illusion. You move the pieces, and out of nowhere, a hole appears. It's not magic. It's tiny proportions that trick the eye. Education with a built-in trick. And Buddha Lake in Idarup seems peaceful, but what really captures you is the idea. Beauty above, mystery below. It's the kind of place that makes you say, there's history here. In China, there are subway stations that feel like museums. Thoughtful design, integrated art, and details that make people stop and look. Transportation that feels like an experience. And this is straight out of science fiction. Some sea slugs can shed their bodies when they're sick, and the head regenerates the rest. Yes, it's like they're restarting the character. Nature saying, I've got a repair mode too. In Ukraine, there's the Tunnel of Love, a railway passage covered by intertwining trees that formed a perfect green tunnel. Accidental romance created by time. The puffin is cuteness with a beak, colorful beak, a slightly sad gaze, clumsy on land, but graceful in the air. It's an animal that looks designed for stickers. The Victoria crowned pigeon walks like a queen. It almost doesn't fly, moves serenely, with a blue crest like a crown. In Scotland, they use magnetic cases to lock up phones during class. It's not punishment, it's focus. You put the phone away, it locks, and that's it. Fewer distractions, more attention. Fun fact, Marvel had an early Captain America film in the 40s, and then Howard the Duck in 1986. And yes, Howard briefly appears in Avengers. Endgame as a nod. The industrial production of popcorn is hypnotic. Kernels popping in perfect rhythm, machines calibrated, everything choreographed. The magic of cinema starts in a factory. Seeing a humpback whale breach is like watching a building doing acrobatics. It pushes out of the water with incredible force, arches through the air, and crashes back down in a spray of foam. The golden silk spider makes threads that look like they're glowing. Its silk is strong and elastic, which is why it's being researched for advanced materials. Biological engineering in living mode. The longest-running anime in the world is Sazae-san. It's not epic, it's about a regular family, and yet it's been going for decades with thousands of episodes. Japanese Sunday tradition with an eternal record. Guangzhou Baiyun Station in China is massive. Huge surface area, many platforms and tracks, and the movement of millions of passengers. Infrastructure that makes you feel like an ant. Mount Etna in Sicily, when it gets serious, looks like the end of the world. Smoke, ash, lava, and a beautiful yet dangerous show, a reminder that the Earth is still alive. African herons that greet by batwing may sound strange, but it's a trust behavior that seems like courtesy, a simple gesture that feels almost human. The burger minion is an invention that exists because someone said yes instead of why not. Humor, engineering, a functional object, and a visual joke all at once. Electricity-based art. Controlled electricity burns or dyes areas of the canvas to create unique shapes. It's not a brush, it's energy drawing guided chaos. Bioluminescent waves in California. Dark sea. And suddenly it turns electric blue when disturbed. It looks like editing, but it's microorganisms emitting light. The Chapel of Bones in Evora is macabre and fascinating, decorated with human bones as a reminder of death. It makes you uncomfortable, but you can't stop staring. In China, they've tested railless trams that follow virtual routes using sensors and guidance systems. It looks like a tram, but moves like a smart bus. The future on the street. Living books are books with reliefs and mechanisms that make the illustrations move. Each page is a little machine. Reading becomes a physical experience. In Vietnam, a father made wooden car replicas for his children. Craftsmanship, patience, and sometimes even the support of modern technology. Family love turned into vehicles. The subway goes through a building. The station is on a high floor, and the train cuts through the structure. It's not CGI, it's engineering made possible by geography. Kilauea, Ek, Hawaii. Rivers of slow-moving, unstoppable red lava. It's hypnotic and frightening. The planet creating new land right in front of your eyes. In South Korea, they use water sprinklers on streets to reduce fine dust and help with urban heat. It seems simple, but in big cities, it adds up a lot. Modern exoskeletons now allow some people to walk, climb stairs, and sit with the help of sensors and batteries. Medicine and robotics making real inclusion possible. A dolphin playing with air rings is pure intelligence. It makes bubbles, manipulates them, blows on them, and seems to play with them as if they were toys. Steak tartare, raw ground meat, seasonings, egg yolk, capers. It's a French classic and entirely depends on quality and freshness. A simple dish, but with total trust in the product. The flamingos in Palakkad, India, dye the landscape pink, thousands together like a wave of color walking. Living postcards. The rodeo bed in the US is a ridiculous challenge. A bed that moves like a mechanical bull. Hold on for 30 seconds and you get a free stay. A themed hotel for the brave and viral clips. Lantern festivals. Thousands of lights rising into the dark sky, each one with a wish. It looks like rain in reverse. Collective hope in visual form. The giant fork in Switzerland became an icon. A massive sculpture you see from afar that makes you think, why is there a fork here? Art that turns into a postcard. The Devil's Eye in Iceland. Hot springs that steam even in extreme cold. Constant vapor, strange colors. A mystical vibe without needing to invent anything. A dog riding a skateboard always melts the internet. An adapted board, skill, confidence, Chinese New Year, streets full of dragons, drums, fire, tradition, and energy that feels like a total festival. Culture in explosion mode, high-altitude work on skyscrapers, precision to the millimeter, wind, risk, and people walking where your body would say, "No way." Human skill in epic mode. The Earth's rotation captured on camera is technical poetry. Hours of exposure and the sky spinning with stars and clouds. Patience turned into film. Australians saying, "If the water is murky, stay on the shore. Because there might be things you don't want to step on or find. It's not fear, it's survival." Look at these two penguins walking with their flippers linked. Synchronized steps, total complicity, and the whole world saying, "Okay, today I believe in love." Quad ball, previously known as Quidditch, is Harry Potter in real life. Two teams of 7, all running with a stick between their legs. The goal is to score by throwing a ball through hoops at the end of the field. And the snitch isn't a flying ball, it's a ball attached to a neutral runner who runs like they owe him money. Catch it and earn extra points. And now a parrot that not only talks, it also distinguishes colors, tones, and even sorts beads by color without missing a beat. It learns through games and positive reinforcement. It recognizes voices and responds differently depending on who's speaking to it. It makes you think, some animals understand a lot more than we realize. Homemade art, but on a wow level. Painting sheets with ice. You make colored ice cubes, place them on white fabric, and wait. They melt slowly, or when the color moves by itself like a controlled accident. Each stain is unique because the water's physics is in charge. And the best part, anyone can do it. In the Netherlands, there's an engineering feat that looks like a visual trick. An aqueduct where boats pass above cars. Below, there's a tunnel for vehicles, 2 levels, water above, traffic below. And no one crosses paths. It's logistics with aesthetics. A reindeer running wildly in slow motion looks like a dance. It jumps, twists, and moves with wild energy. It's not just running, it's freedom in animal form, and it hits you in the chest. The wave in Arizona looks like a petrified wave. Perfect curves in rock, as if someone froze the movement. It was formed over millions of years of erosion. Access is limited because if anyone can enter, it will be ruined. It's a treasure that needs to be preserved. Nemrut Dağ in Turkey has giant statues on a solitary peak. Enormous heads of gods and animals looking out over the horizon. It's believed to mark a royal tomb. The most striking part is the atmosphere at sunrise and sunset. It makes you feel tiny. In China, there's the Xianren Bridge, a massive natural arch. A bridge that wasn't made by humans. It was carved by erosion. You look at it, and it seems like a fantasy set. Climbing or walking near it immediately commands respect. In Indonesia, Groyogan Watu Purbo waterfall falls in terraces. It's not one big drop, it's a water staircase. The sound is constant, rhythmic, almost meditative. And since it's not as touristy, it feels wilder. In Burkina Faso, there's Festima, a festival of African masks. Dances, drums, rituals, woven masks representing ancient spirits and traditions. It's like watching the past walk down the street. Modern things that satisfy strangely. Removing graffiti with steam and high pressure. You watch the paint vanish in seconds without damaging the wall. It's used on delicate areas, old walls, sculptures, and heritage. Technology cleaning history in real time. And at big festivals, 3D holograms appear. Floating figures, artists multiplying, impossible scenes. Sometimes they even recreate performances from artists who are no longer with us, with a realism that gives you chills. It's a concert mixed with science fiction. In Bali, there was an invasion of giant spiders that covered roofs, cables, and trees with webs. The images looked like a horror movie. But as it was explained, it was a natural proliferation due to climate and season. harmless but visually pure terror. In the Arctic, there are ice flowers, thin crystals on young ice, like petals. They form with precise temperature and salinity. They don't last long, sometimes just hours. It's beauty that disappears before you can blink. And yes, parrots are wild, not just because of the colors. Many learn words, understand context, play, solve problems, and show emotions. Some read your mood without a single word. Personality with feathers. Watching a master blacksmith at work is hypnotic. Fire, red-hot metal, hammer, rhythm. Strike, bend, polish, repeat. It feels like a brutal choreography. And out of that violence comes something shiny and refined. A sailor trying to walk on a Norwegian ship during a storm is a brutal reminder. The floor moves, the walls vibrate, the sea hits like it wants to come inside. Every step is a small fight. The video went viral because it shows the truth. The ocean does not forgive. And if you ever thought an earthquake from a skyscraper must feel gentle, nope. The building sways slowly, like a wave. It creaks, it moves, and your brain goes straight into panic mode. Structural vertigo, total switch, onigiri, shaped rice, filling, nori seaweed, simple, portable, classic Japanese food. You grab one at a convenience store and you're set. The mongoose is small but not timid. It became famous for facing venomous snakes. Fast, smart, precise. Its weapon is timing. Folk ballet mixes classical ballet with traditional dances. A refined technique, but with local identity. Vibrant costumes, music, stories. Culture dancing with discipline. And yes, corn is a cereal native to the Americas with enormous value. Food, history, symbol. There are varieties in different colors. It was sacred to ancient peoples, and today it's a global staple. In Formula One, cleaning tires is life or death on track. In the pits, they remove rubber debris, dust, and dirt, all fast without damaging the surface. One bad second and you lose the race. Janil Park makes furniture that looks like three-dimensional drawings. Chairs and tables made of wire that trick the eye. Minimalist, strange, beautiful, like a sketch escaped from paper. Leptopoma perlucidum is a snail with an almost transparent shell, like glass. Beautiful, discreet, important microfauna. Oh, a creature that looks like a living jewel. There are masonry competitions where professionals go head-to-head. They build walls, finish surfaces, and are judged on cleanliness, speed, and safety. A trade turned into sport. And it reminds you that building well is an art. Leveling floors with polyurethane foam sounds strange, but it works. Foam is injected under the surface, expands, lifts, and stabilizes. No need to tear up the whole floor. Fast, precise, modern. Adam, the robot barista, prepares coffee with robotic arms and constant precision. Espresso, cappuccino, latte, no fatigue. Some models interact via screen or voice, the future serving coffee. According to a National Geographic campaign, Angelina Jolie let herself be covered by bees to raise awareness about pollinators. It was done with preparation to avoid stings and stress on the insects. The photos went viral because of the symbolism. Fame used as a megaphone. In Japan, they built tunnels for turtles under train tracks. Not a joke. They are passages so turtles can cross without being killed. They're installed where high mortality was detected. Engineering to save small animals. Military training with pepper spray exists. It burns, makes your eyes water, leaves you almost blind for a while, and you still have to follow instructions. Mental control under stress with safety measures. Hanaran Dubai. Banknotes made with sheets of 24-karat gold as collectible luxury items. They are not legal currency, but they replicate real designs in detail, sold as eccentric gifts, literally shiny. Releasing sea turtles is one of those moments that fixes your day. Newborn hatchlings, protected beaches, volunteers, and specialists following strict rules. The goal is simple: help them reach the sea to reduce the brutal mortality of the first minutes. Conservation, education, and an emotional scene that gives you hope. In places with extreme winters, people drive over frozen lakes. Literally, temporary ice roads used to move supplies or connect isolated communities. Thickness is measured, stability is monitored, and they close at the first sign of melting. Practical, vital, and at the same time, dangerously insane. Octavio Ocampo is a master of optical illusions. You look at a painting and see one thing. Blink and a hidden face appears. Then another scene inside the scene. His works are beautiful traps for the brain. Pure visual metamorphism. Crab fishing is not a calm postcard. It's cold, wind, rough seas, and hands that cannot slip. They use traps with bait to attract crabs without destroying them. Tradition and hard work with real risk every trip. Will Smith used personal cameras on the set of Bad Boys to capture unusual angles and action scenes. Closer, more dynamic, more you are there. It's not just acting, it's stepping into creative control of the shot. The Rufus Hornero is the hardest working architect in South America. It builds mud nests shaped like ovens, extremely strong, sun-dried and able to last for years. A symbol of home, a consistency in craftsmanship. Pitahaya, or dragon fruit, looks like it came out of a video game. Pink skin with scale-like shapes, white or red flesh with black seeds. Mild and sweet flavor, and it's decorative, high in fiber and vitamin C, exotic and photogenic. Octopus suckers are living technology. They don't just suction, they also feel texture and even taste. They contract, create vacuum, and grip with incredible strength. For movement, hunting, exploration, everything. An intelligent hand in tentacle form. Downhill is cycling with maximum adrenaline. Steep descents, roots, rocks, jumps, speed that erases thought. Bikes with advanced suspension and reflexes straight out of a video game. One mistake, and you pay hard. Lenovo's transparent laptop is a futuristic concept. Translucent parts that let you see through the device. Still experimental, but it makes you think about how computers will look when design matters as much as power. The Gelada is the primate that looks like a sheep. It lives in the Ethiopian highlands and grazes on grass like livestock. Males have a mane and a red chest patch that looks like an emblem. Extremely social, they communicate with gestures and complex sounds. Steel timber sports is logging turned into a show. Lumberjack athletes compete with axes, manual saws, and chainsaws. Speed, precision, strength. Forestry tradition transformed into elite sport. The mosquito buzz comes from insanely fast wing beats. Hundreds of vibrations per second. And it's not just annoying, it helps attract mates. That sound that ruins your night is biology in action. The Lely Discovery Collector is a robot that cleans barns. It vacuums manure from walkways without disturbing cows, improves hygiene, reduces odors, helps prevent disease. Farming plus automation, not romantic, but with real impact. In ancient Rome, urine was a valuable commodity. It was used as a detergent for washing clothes and even for whitening teeth. A tax was even levied on its public collection. Plants also communicate. Some emit chemicals to alert others of a threat, such as a pest. It's a surprisingly effective form of plant warning. In Iceland, there are no traditional surnames. Instead, they use the father's or mother's name followed by son or daughter. For example, if your father is John, you could be Johnson or John's daughter. Bombardier beetles can expel a scalding chemical jet from their abdomens as a defense. This mixture reaches temperatures of up to 212.9, a mini natural chemical explosion. Humans share about 98% of their DNA with chimpanzees, but we also share about 60% with bananas. Genetics never ceases to amaze. The Colosseum in Rome had a system of pulleys, trapdoors, and underground tunnels that allowed wild animals to be pulled from the ground, like ancient special effects. In South Korea, the number 4 is considered unlucky, So much so that in many buildings the fourth floor is marked F to avoid that number. This is due to its similarity to the word death. In Australia, there are more kangaroos than people. It is estimated that there are more than 50 million kangaroos compared to a human population of just over 27 million. Ants can survive inside a microwave. Their bodies are so small that electromagnetic fields often don't affect them directly unless they are in the center of the plate. In the 17th century, a British doctor proposed treating headaches by implanting a piece of a dead person's skull. Trepanation was seen as an almost magical remedy. In China, there is a glass bridge that makes even the bravest dizzy. It is located in Zhangjiajie and spans a canyon more than 984 feet deep. Goats can have regional accents. A study in England showed that the bleats of goats raised in different regions sound different, a rarity in the animal world. A man was found dead on the coast of Somerton, Australia, wearing an elegant suit but without documents. Among his belongings was a piece of paper with the phrase Tamam Shud, Persian for finished. They also found a book with cryptic codes. To this day, no one has been able to decipher his identity or the cause of his death. Elephants not only remember, they also feel tenderness. Research shows that their brains react the same way humans do when they see babies. They feel empathy, compassion, and affection for other species. They are as large on the outside as they are sensitive on the inside. The brain weighs little but demands a lot. It barely represents 2% of the body but consumes about 20% of its energy. Keeping it active requires constant fuel, good food, better memory. A scent can break time. The Proust phenomenon explains how certain smells trigger forgotten memories. The sense of smell connects directly with the amygdala and hippocampus, without logical filters. A perfume or the smell of wet earth can open doors to the past. The organ that interprets pain doesn't feel it. The brain lacks receptors called nociceptors. Patients undergoing brain surgery can converse awake without any pain. The suffering center is immune to suffering. Starfruit becomes a literal star when you slice it. Perfectly shaped slices. Flavor ranges from sweet to tart depending on ripeness. Vitamin C, fiber, and it looks like gourmet decoration with zero effort. A surfer made a board using recycled cigarette butts. Yes, cigarette butts. And the idea was not just, look how crazy this is. It was a statement. This waste is one of the most common and most polluting. Trash turned into a message. The cube burger exploded on social media because of its perfect cubic shape. A classic burger, but in block form, meat, cheese, vegetables, bacon, and a layer of liquid cheese sealed inside. Normal flavor, completely weird presentation. A tooth is not just a hard piece. It has layers. Enamel is the hardest substance in the human body. Under that is dentin, which carries sensitivity. In the center is the pulp, with nerves and blood vessels. Mary Beatrice Kenner was a pioneering inventor who patented an adhesive sanitary pad in 1957. She improved comfort and function in feminine hygiene. Even so, she faced discrimination. She created several useful inventions, but this one changed daily life for millions. Psychotria elata is the kiss flower. It looks like red lips. It grows in humid areas of Central and South America. It attracts pollinators like hummingbirds. It's famous for its shape, but also fragile due to deforestation. The giant tiger shrimp can grow beyond 12 inches. It has a tough exoskeleton and mottled colors for camouflage. Highly valued in cuisine and also farmed in aquaculture, a tank in shrimp form. There is a world championship for Excel. People compete with spreadsheets like it's an e-sport. Time-based challenges, formulas, logic, and sometimes macros. And yes, some levels look like mathematical magic. Being a panda nanny is cuteness with responsibility. Feeding with special milk, constant monitoring, non-emotional care. It's real conservation work. and the images of baby pandas took over the internet for a reason. The whale shark is the largest fish on the planet and still harmless. It filter feeds on plankton like a giant ocean vacuum. Its spots are unique, like fingerprints. Massive strength, peaceful behavior. Christ, the King of Poland in Świebodzin, is enormous. A massive statue that surpasses Brazil's Christ the Redeemer in total height when the full structure is counted. A religious symbol visible from far away and debated because of its scale. The Moscow guppy is an ornamental variety bred through selection with intense colors like blue, black, and purple. Males are usually the most striking, popular in aquariums for beauty and easy care. The mouse deer is a real miniature, a tiny ruminant from Southeast Asia, shy, silent, forest-dwelling, some weigh under 5 pounds. It looks like an impossible mix between a deer and a mouse. The Borges family in Brazil lives a scene that feels like a movie. They rescued tigers from a traveling circus and ended up with a group of 7 at home. They care for them, feed them, and even let them into the pool like part of the household. But careful, even if it looks cute on camera, living with an animal like this is extremely dangerous and not something to copy. In Paris, suddenly your bag can be a microbus. The brand Gigantism pulled a viral marketing move. It's Les Bambino bags mounted on wheels, cruising iconic streets like tiny taxis. Ridiculous, elegant, and so strange, you can't stop watching. And that's it for today, wild people. Hit like if you enjoyed the video and don't forget to subscribe.